Hi, this is Brian from Enlightenspeed here, and today we are introducing MeloDramatik. It is an entirely new plugin, but it is very much an evolution of Melodic Inverter as well. So as we're just introducing it today, we won't bother with going through all of the steps for using it. We're just going to cover the headline features. So features that weren't part of Melodic Inverter at all. It's still the same general idea. We have a bunch of channels here, and each corresponds to the places on our grid here. With like any pattern sequencer, these are the steps over time. And again, it doesn't generate anything, which is the same as Melodic Inverter. As you can see, we've got polystep here, so polystep will be providing the notes for this, and then MeloDramatik will be altering the notes, changing the notes as it goes along. The first thing to note is we now have a lot more algorithms. There's a total of 53 now. We could have gone for a lot more, but it was getting a bit silly. Particularly once you consider that once you go through the grid, the combination algorithms, the potential for evolving algorithms it's just an incredible number. It's a number that I don't know if it's even got a proper name yet. So the new features on the sequence area itself, you'll see we still also have our mute feature here. We have the octaves, we have our pass-throughs, but we've also added semitones and a sequencer for the scales as well. If you have a look in this section, we've added scaling into it. And on the sequencer here, you can actually change which scale it is on a per step basis. So most of that's simple enough. We've also added an editing feature here for drawing the x-axis, so you can do that basically. And we also have our other kind of standard controls there. We have our step length here. We have the rate controls. There's a few more of those being added now. We have our spreads. The spreads were of course on the edit page in the previous version, as was the global algorithm control, which is now up here. On the edit page, we have much more detail into the randomizer. There's more available for being randomized. You can set the ranges for what the randomizer will give you. And you can also randomize individual elements now as well. As you can see here with the scale. So first of all, just going to clear this. The clear, of course, is now part of a section. We have operations for the patterns, copy, paste and clear, and these are just supplemental functions for each pattern. So if we just randomize that one, randomize pattern 2, randomize pattern 3, and obviously those are now stored. Copy pattern 3, paste to pattern 4, and clear them back down. And over on the far right here down at the bottom, we have the mute group control and the pass group control. And these are really just for controlling these lanes. The mute group and the pass group, when you add a lot in from randomize, they can make a lot of difference. But sometimes they might overdo it a bit and you just want to try see what it's like without the mute groups, but without cancelling it. So you just click on the button. You still see your positions there, of course, but they're deluminated a little bit, and back on with them, if you so wish. So the final big new feature that we've got is the filter section, which is awesome, even if I do say so myself. I'm just going to have a little play around with this just now, and I'll show you the different modes. Firstly, we have two sections. We have the input filter section and the output filter section. The output filter also has the filter rules. And what these do is determine what happens to a note if it has been filtered. So you've got our three modes, F, T and W, or WTF, whatever's your poison. So the F stands for fold back, the T stands for terminate, the W stands for wrap around. Terminate obviously just ends it. Fold back will bounce off whatever the threshold is. So they're set as a high pass and a low pass. The high pass obviously removes anything below the high pass limit. The low pass obviously removes everything above the low pass limit. So should a note be above or below these values, they will be reflected by the same amount as they have gone over. So just have a listen to this in effect. And that's an interesting scale. We're in chromatic, so yeah, that's everything. Let's change that quickly. Get that back to major just to make it just a wee bit easier to listen to. So fold back part 2. Just using the high pass and the low pass in combination there to force a bass out of that. Just set the high pass so that nothing is filtered out at the bottom end, and set the low pass so that everything above somewhere in the 2 range is taken out. Probably set that for C3 safely enough. And wraparound performs a similar function where it doesn't remove the note, but it does it in a slightly different way. If a note goes past, say, the low pass here, rather than bouncing back from, say, 5 over to 5 under, it'll come out at the other end and it'll be just above where the high pass limit is. Tends to get you a few more in the bass area if you're doing it that way. So just slightly different versions on the same theme, but the results are excellent, as you can no doubt hear. And that's pretty much us. We'll return and do a couple more videos going into some more depth with the features that we've covered. In particular, we'll cover a wee bit of trickery with the filters, go into detail with the randomizer and the scales a wee bit more. If you haven't used Melodic Inverter before, don't worry, we will come back and do further videos, which will go into the full details of using the sequencer. But that's us for now. Thanks for taking the time to watch the video, and we shall see you around sometime soon. Take care. Bye bye.